I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy, 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 boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here. So, for the day done, you are gonna love over your son.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Yo, Chubba Dog, SK New Artist, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, we cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherase, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha! Yeah, someone on for the food from we young, from we there, you need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.
Yes, greetings and welcome one and all to I Am Sure Sports. I am Omar Stennett. Again, I'm delighted to be with you. This is the third time for the day. And if you don't know, we did a show earlier today, a preview show with Coach Minzy from the coach's desk and Pioneer, our regular track and field analyst here on I Am Sure Sports. He was here with us on our first show for the day, and we spoke about the Diamond League today. So you should go and watch that show. And then in the afternoon, we had our JPL preview show featuring Rudolph Speed, and we had Ohini Blake, you know him as Cataract Dre. Anyway, the sports was also on it, and several persons were also in the comment section just looking at the games. Normally that show would be on a Friday, but because the games were moved to, well, the show would be on a Friday because the games would be on a Saturday and a Sunday, but because of the lockdown, they have moved the games to Friday, which is tomorrow. And so we did the show today, just looking at that very good show. And if you have not yet, please go and check out those two shows that we did. All right. Also, want to give you some information that you may not know before we get into our show, and I share with you some info. Phoenix Academy, they have been in England playing some games. They played against Colchester today and defeated them. Yes, one more victory for Mount Pleasant. I don't think they have lost a game so far. They defeated Colchester this morning by 5-1. And so far they have scored 43 goals in 7 games, and they're playing against teams there, under 23 teams, under 18 teams, that also some have senior players from the squad. So doing really, really well. I watch a couple of the game. I know Buster doing well. You know them by the nickname. I can tell that he is doing well. And then can't forget big man doing very well again, Mr. Richards. Dejan Richard, they call him Whisper, scoring some screamers from all the way out. So just wanted to share a couple of things as we give our guests an opportunity to come in and join the show. We have today we're going to have with us fans from Liverpool, Manchester United, Leeds, the big club Arsenal, and some little here and there clubs. Um, but really, I've come to know these guys. They're always on Sports Frenzy, and so we have the crew from over there joining us today. And so I'm going to invite them to join me now. We have Kems, that's Kems right there. He changes his name, people. He's the same person. He just always comes in, depending on how Ilian does. He may put up some name up there, and depending on how Manchester United does, but he's always changing his name. But he's the same man. And then we have the cricket guru. When it comes down to blogging and social media, this man is known as the cricket guru. Though he oftentimes gets some of the things wrong, I think he's very analytically astute as it relates to the sport of cricket, and he has some trophies. We don't know if he actually purchased them or he won them, but he has some trophies behind him and stuff. Kems and Demo Dre, how are you doing?
Good, we're good, man. We're good.
Doing good.
Doing good?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. Listen, before we get in, we're waiting on Levon to join and a couple of other persons. Any of you guys want to um, speak on what is happening with the international players not being released by their clubs, or are you okay with that, or you think the clubs should release the players?
Well,
No, no, no. I was just gonna say, from a Jamaican point of view, probably it might, as I think that we just hit the red zone or red flag zone, whatever they call it, and stuff like that. So, we were recruiting a lot of overseas players, especially from the EPL. So it's not a good look.
Somebody's fun is on. I don't know. Okay. Demo, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just saying that from a Jamaican point of view, it's probably not ideal. You know what I mean? But you can't fault the clubs in a world like this right now. With COVID just take over. I don't think you can fault the clubs for doing it. It's just for the health of the club, the health of the league, because a lot of quarantining and all of this stuff, and your best players going away to come back and have to quarantine and all of these things. So I don't think you can fault them, because I mean, Corona is just Corona.
yeah, and to add to that, as Demo said, if I am Jamaican, I want these players released. I
If
want the
if
play.
if you're a Jamaican,
Oh, meaning, you know what I mean, man. It's fine.
no, 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 I don't
All
know what you mean.
right,
I
let's
don't know what you mean. Explain.
let me explain. If I'm a Jamaican, right?
If
No,
you're hold on.
no. I talk about me per se. I talk about like fans, right? So as a
Yeah.
Jamaican fan,
There
me I
you
go
go.
want
That's better. That's better. As a Jamaican, there you go.
me I go want the Jamaican players released, right? But then you look at it at a holistic level now, and you say, well, there's a lot of things that it can affect. All right, say for example, you release a Leon Bailey, right? You release a Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey come. Leon Bailey now go follow protocol, right? Let's be honest, right? So then
No, don't do that, Kim. You don't know if Liam Bailey are gonna do that time.
we already have evidence of him not following protocol. We already
Oh
have.
yeah. You have
All right,
heard. You have heard. Yeah,
no,
you have heard.
I've seen.
All right. All right.
Seen
So,
videos and stuff. But anyway, we're not set on that. So say Leon Bailey come, say he doesn't follow protocol. He him catch corona. Then now him go back to Aston Villa, and then another player catch it, and then another player catch it. And then that is taking away, I think it's affecting the Premier Leagues or the top leagues bottom. And if you know anything about these kind of sports, they always try to protect their bottom line, right? So I don't really have a total problem with it, as Demo say. You just have to look on it from a general standpoint, and it's tough on Jamaican because we use a lot of English-based players. But now is if they don't release them at all, now is the time for the local-based players to they're always complaining about they're picking English-based players. So now is the time for you to step up and show us what you're worth.
all right. Chris Lynch, you have anything to add to that? What you think
No,
should?
no, man. Obviously, that hurt Jamaicans every way possible, because we look when you look at our squad is built up, obviously our players come mainly from England, so that hurt us bad. So we are going to find every reason to criticize it, even when there's a good reason for it to happen. And that's why every league following. That's how money is. You try to protect your investment, and that's what most of the leagues are doing. They didn't. Well, it's not that they tell you. It's not that England have a problem or anywhere have a problem with you leaving. It's that when you come back, you have to do a quarantine, and then you will be missing games. So, that's just the main point of it. It's the pandemic. It's nothing to be blamed. It's just the pandemic and the nature of every country really taking it serious, and it just Jamaica is just bad lucky, I guess, to be caught in such a situation.
All right, so here's my challenge, right? So the clubs have said they are not releasing the players for the countries that are on the red list, right? So all of a sudden, more countries, like lower ranked countries, are all of a sudden now just starting to appear on the red list. Like all of these countries run, but once the FA decided that, more names keep added to the red list all of a sudden. All right, all right. So should it be then that no player be allowed? Why? Because England still gonna have their full squad, but other nations will be affected. All right. Why couldn't they release the players to the national teams and then say to the players, you are not allowed to play in that country, because it's not one game, it is 3 games. So I find it strange that this is being done for all 3 games, instead of, like in Jamaica's case, the one game where Mexico is red listed. Why not release the players and say, but you can't go to Mexico? You are released, but you can't go to Mexico. That's all I want to know.
Because the point is coming back, you have to quarantine again, management. I just pointed out that to you. When you come back, if they release you, the big point about it is not releasing you. Is when you come back, you quarantine and miss more games.
No, but that is if you're coming from a country on the red list. If you're on one of those that says amber, you don't have to quarantine. Or if you're on one of those that says green, you don't have to quarantine. It's just the red list countries you have to go through the 10-day quarantine.
Yeah,
That's
but so you're telling them release them, and I travel to Mexico, but I don't play.
No. You stay in Jamaica for the Panama game because you don't have to go and play in Mexico. But what I'm saying is that they're not releasing the players for any other games.
Yeah, I understand what you must say. I understand what you mean. I mean, in theory, that sounds all well and good, but I mean, they're just looking at the whole general thing. Like you can literally you can just literally go board your flight and then in the airport you catch corona from somebody in the airport. So in order to avoid any little thing like that, just none at all. Just stay in where we are and then play Premier League.
But Demo, aren't people catching corona at the clubs?
I mean, we haven't heard of it as frequent as it was before. We know last season a lot of it there going. This season so far, probably a couple from Arsenal, I think. But it's not as frequent as it was before.
Okay, I think maybe the clubs are not speaking about it as much as they used to do before, which could be
not. Pre this, pre this, right, Mannings, man, pre this, right? When I believe the clubs are okay if them catch corona right this, but we're not going to send our players outside to catch corona and bring it back. That's also why I think they look at it. They prefer the corona to be. They'll deal with that in-house issue right there, but I believe they're taking a proactive approach instead of a reactive approach, right? Because they want to stop it before it happens. Because Mannings, man, you are thinking as a Jamaican, you want them to play, you want them this, you want them that. How come Jamaica end up on the red zone? All of that. But if a player go out there now and then you hear say, okay, Premier League, say for example, and I know I'm going to the extreme, but some corona has been extreme, right? So if now you hear say, okay, Premier League postpone, would you say that letting the players go would have been worth it?
If Premier League get postponed and Jamaica go the World Cup, of course. What you talking about, brother?
And that's the thing. It's from a Jamaican perspective, because a lot of these teams, if the Premier League, the Premier League says they're not allowing players to go, right? So look, if you look on the French players in the Premier League, you think France are gonna matter if them come? Like France have players all over can play even the under 21 team and they still have a good team. All other big teams probably have great players. So it's probably just the lower ranked teams are gonna look and say, oh, we now get our best players.
But
Yeah,
Because
but
and
if
it's
the two
and it's not the Premier League alone now. I see that La Liga and Syria are basically saying the same thing.
yeah, so it's like from
All the big
a
spenders
bigger
going to do that management.
But
yeah.
you know what is the other truth though? They can't do it to everybody. Only certain players. They can't tell Messi not to go to Argentina. You think they can do that, or Cristiano Ronaldo not to go to? You think they could do that? That's a question. I don't know. What you think? You think they can tell
They,
Messi, no, you can't play for Argentina,
they
or else
didn't
we're
tell
gonna
Messi
sanction you?
that they put a rule there that Messi can breach can breach a contract. It's a rule. It's a general rule. Messi must follow the rule. It's
No.
not a player rule. It's everyone
Okay.
rule. So Messi going to choose whether to abide by that rule or not.
All right. Welcome, Levon, from Sports Frenzy, as you all can see. Levon, give us your opinion. Do you think the club should just let the players go and play and trust them to be responsibly enough to come back without the corona? And even if they have to quarantine, as long as they are not going to one of the red listed countries, that's all right. So, like the English players, you can come and play the game against Panama in Jamaica, because Jamaica is not on the red list, playing Costa Rica, but you cannot go to Mexico. Or just, brethren, just stay here, don't go anywhere at all. What are your thoughts, Lava?
All right. Blessings to the I'm sure sports fans and fellow panelists. Blessings, man. Personally, for me, would I rather risk sending my players than risking it that they end up catching COVID? I wouldn't, from a club perspective. You might be looking at it from a national perspective that you want them to come to play for Jamaica. That's the reason why you're looking at it from that standpoint. If you were part of the hierarchy of these clubs, you wouldn't want to let go of your players because you risk having your other players catching COVID from those said players. And then you know that when it comes down to the EPL, you're going to face, or whichever league it is, you're going to have to put out a weaker team to actually face up to teams that hasn't sent out their players. So you don't really want to risk that from my perspective.
Really? I think this is such a club bias group. I mean, clubs seem to take precedence over international football, which is, I think, the unfortunate reality of the times that we're living in. But
Manningsman,
Even
Manningsman, let me ask you a
yes,
question, Manningsman. And this is all hypothetical, right? So let's say Jamaica has the opportunity to go to the World Cup, and Jamaica has the power to say, well, I'm not releasing my players to the English team because there's COVID going on bad over England. Would you now have the same stance and say, well, no man, release the players them to England and make them come back? Would you have that same stance?
if Jamaica had autonomy,
Yes.
would I? Would I? I mean, no, I don't know. If listen, all right. So no, let me tell you why. If it is that I can't pay the players, because a lot of that would have to do with earning. So if the players are earning millions here and I'm only giving them $1,000, at the end of the day, I'm going to have disgruntled players because their hearts are going to be where the money is at. So I'd say no.
All right,
Go
Mannings,
out
man,
and yes.
level out the playing field. Say, for instance, they're getting the same money in terms of salary wise. So just level the playing field. Don't talk about the disparity. Just level the playing field. Would
If the
you or would
playing
you?
brother, if the playing field were level and everybody out say, you're mad, stay at Jamaica, brother. It's World Cup we're going. It's
Same
World Cup we're going.
thing. Same thing. These
Because
things.
this is your nation. Your club is not your nation.
Someone tell me,
plus management, this is a good way for the clubs. They're always reluctant at sending away players. So
Always
this wasn't
long
a hard
before.
decision for them, obviously, with COVID being a good what you
Excuse.
would call excuse. Yeah, because even with the Olympics, a lot of clubs don't release their ballers. A lot of national team would have loved to have their ballers, but they don't release them. They don't release them.
Mannings, man. Remember that it's the clubs who pay the player. Them earn them living off of them club in a boss. So you think
Yeah.
owners and all these players, all these big shots are gonna send send Mikel Antonio come play for Jamaica when them want to do well in the Premier League? No, like Mikel Antonio getting all of his money from West Ham. Like they're not gonna risk that.
I don't know. I hear you guys and I understand that the club pay the money, but I think some of these guys, it because it doesn't affect everybody. I think it's unfair, and it affects smaller nations more than bigger nations. Because, like I said, that a lot of these other nations will not be affected.
Stick up in though, Mannings, man. I disagree with that because you know that some of these bigger countries are in the red zone in terms of some of the major countries. So you can't really say it's the lesser countries that are being affected.
Like you're
Because
talking like Brazil, the
yeah,
Brazil. Well, some of the Brazilian players said that they are still going to play for Brazil. So I don't know how that's going to work. So there is going to be some problem because the Brazilian players said they are going to play.
Mannings, man. Another thing.
So go ahead.
Another. Well, you know, when you look at that, you know, let's say a baller like Messi now. It's hard for you to tell Messi say him can't go play for Argentina because Messi is, you know, arguably the GOAT, right? But imagine a man like
No, he's not the GOAT, but you can continue.
I said arguably.
Argue.
We can't argue that, right? But when you talk about, give me a player, say a man like Leon Bailey, right? Just reach Aston Villa. Them man they not have enough leverage. If you can say, well, all right, you know what, I'm still a go. But man like Neymar, man like Messi, them man they have them kind of leverage there where them can do that. So the Jamaican players, I just don't think they don't have that leverage as well. So the local base players have to step up. That's all I'm saying. The local base players step up and get it done. Why you don't trust the local base player, Mannings, man?
You trust them? Go ahead, Lebo.
Kems, if you look at it though, we're saying just local based players. It's not just local based players.
MLS.
Because remember that you have players outside of Jamaica and from other European countries that actually can come into the setup. You know, for instance, Blair Turgott. There isn't a ban on him. Look at it's a guy named from Slovenia.
Shamar Nicholson.
No, I'm not talking about Shamar this time around, man.
Karim
Paris and Norman Campbell and those guys. You can't bring those guys into the setup because they're playing for top teams in Europe.
You think Tapa going another thing? You think Tapa going to call up those players, the Paris
That's
and
the thing.
Well, he won't have any choice now because 14 players from out of England in total would not be available. So where are those other 14 players going to come from? So
Yeah, I think you still have the MLS and like what Levant says, still have Europe to focus on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, somebody said that the local players will get 6-0 from Mexico. I think we're past those days now, but we would lose. But my point was this. Listen, even with our best team, I think we could possibly lose to Mexico with all the players. So I'm saying that maybe they could come and not go to Mexico. Just play the match at the office because that is the match we need to win. We need to win our home games. So why not release them to play in the match at the office, seeing that Jamaica is not yet on the red list, and they go back to England, and then we find other players to play the Mexico and the Costa Rica game.
No.
You know, but them are still saying no, yeah, man. But Liverpool did that with Salah. They say you can go and play against Gabon,
A certain team, yeah.
but you cannot go and play in Egypt. Why for Jamaican players it's like you can't go to any other game? That is the issue I have.
But Mannings, man, I don't think that probably England is looking at it from a standpoint and saying that Jamaica cases are rising on each given day. So they're probably just looking at Jamaica, and who knows? Very soon Jamaica might be on the red list then as well.
Well, that could be, or they could be saying you guys have been taking our players. We're not allowing, you know, that could be that you're trying to get Mikel Antonio. You hold on.
No, man, come on, Mannings.
But then that would have come. It would have come down to the club discretion then, management. That's what they're saying. Liverpool granting Salah that he can play. Yeah, so it's not really England now. It's the club discretion now to say you can play this game but not that one then.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. The club could say that to the players. But we're not here to discuss national football. We're here to discuss some club football and the EPL in particular. I don't see any of my Arsenal fans yet to support me. I see 2 Liverpool, 2 Manchester United, 1 Arsenal. So there's an unfairness with the discussion. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead. The first game, the biggest game of the weekend, 2 of the bigger teams in England will be playing. First off, Saturday morning, 6:30. The Mighty Gunners on a rebound after dropping 6-0 against West Brom. In the why everybody laughing in the EFL Cup, easy, squeezy, players returning versus Manchester City having some problems with players being alleged being charged for all kind of stuff, and their major central creative midfielder Kevin De Bruyne out. What say you?
Wait, no, before why you never continue the rule and say against West Brom B team and them stuff? You know say them stuff there.
Well, you can say that. I don't need to say that. You can add what you want. But Levon, just what are your thoughts on the Arsenal versus Manchester City game?
All right. I know that a lot of Arsenal fans has gotten up in arms about that 16 performance, but as Demo said, it was against, I wouldn't even say B team, it was against West Brom C team. Because I was scanning through the team, I was like, I don't even know them youth here. But I mean, Arsenal has some players returning, and that's a good thing for you because your captain is back in terms of Aubameyang and scored a trick. Sure that you guys feel happy about that. But Arsenal still has an issue. And you know what their issue is? You guys lack leadership, and especially in defense, I don't see you guys withstanding the sustained pressure from Man City. I honestly have City to win this game. Scoreline, this looked like a 3-1 to me because City backline can be breached as well. Because as I said, Ruben Diaz, if you pressure him as much as you need to, he can crack. But I see City winning this game.
Anyone else have a different prediction?
I have a different prediction actually.
Thank you, Demo.
Yeah, so I actually think that this game will end in a draw. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw, high scoring draw. I just think that with the players coming back for Arsenal, I know they were dreadful against Brentford, but they showed a lot more fight against Chelsea, even though they lost the match. And I thought they were decent against Chelsea in that game. But they didn't have all of these players that's coming back now. You know, the when name Odegaard and all of these guys, Aubameyang, Lacazette, all of them. I mean, I know last season these guys weren't scoring a lot of goals and stuff either. But I think that after that West Brom game, even though it was a C team, I think that one thing goals give you is confidence. And I think that the confidence will come back to Aubameyang after scoring a hat-trick. I know 2 of the goals are like a tap in, but one of them was a typical Aubameyang strike when cut in and curl it in at the top corner. And that can just give you confidence. So I think that they will score goals. And Manchester City, they look impressive against Norwich and slap up Norwich, obviously. But from what I saw against Tottenham, they can be got at as well. And so both teams will score against each other. And I think it will be a 2-2 draw.
All right. Kems, I know you were going to say something. Or you were clapping. I don't know if you were celebrating Levon or Demo.
All right, so I mean, or Demo really go out on a limb, but I don't see that. You know, if we know how Manchester United, we know Manchester City play, right? Manchester City play, and we know that they're going to have majority of possession. We know they're going to control the tempo of the game, and you know, the Chelsea versus Arsenal game. The only reason why I just 2-0 is because Chelsea really take them foot off at the gas and just like it's like Chelsea say a joke thing this and them just run out the 90 minutes. But I actually think this game is going to end. Brentford giving us 2-0, Chelsea giving us 2-0. So City are gonna score 2-4, so 6-0, right? So we have Manchester City 6 and we have Arsenal 0. Right? And you know, you're going to say, oh, what kind of crazy prediction, what kind of mad prediction that. But what I think is going to happen is that, is Ben White playing? Tell me if Ben White is playing. Is Ben White is playing?
No, Ben White has COVID.
You him have COVID. All right. So, on the big defender out, on the 50 million defender out.
Gabriel
right?
Magalhaes is a match day decision, so he could be what?
Okay. So I just believe that City will just run into shreds. Arsenal from me because I'm a betting man, you know. So and 6:30 game not go well with Arsenal for me. You know, you can't say it's a myth or so. So I think it's going to be either 5-0 or 6-0, but 6-0 sound better to me. So I think City will win 6-0.
I think that's a betting thing and not a footballing thing. You understand me? I just think you're hoping that the odds of a 6-0 go and pay a whole lot of money, and you just want that to happen. It is very optimistic. That will never happen. All right.
The 2-2 draw with Demo pick will never happen either.
So let me give you a breakdown. All right. Now, Arsenal are going to change a few things. I can tell you that. I think the last game, I think I said this, the coach needed to have gone to a back three, and he did not. And I think that was part of the problem. That's one thing. I think he goes to a back three that gives us better defensive stability. We match up with City, and then we can beat them. I don't think City looked good against Norwich City. I think Norwich City was not a good team. That's it. In the game against Tottenham, City never looked well. And I don't think they look better. They just scored because Norwich is not good. So if I were to compare the game against Chelsea that Arsenal played and how City look against Norwich, I think Arsenal playing against the top team in the league right now look better. City against Norwich, honestly, and we said City looked so good. They did not look good. Norwich is not good. And that's just the truth. So it looked easy for Manchester City. So I think this is going to be 2-1 in favor of Arsenal. This is going to be the surprise of the weekend. Aubameyang to score, Lacazette to score, right? I think Jack Grealish is going to hold on to that ball too long and mess up the City play. And so I don't think City have a centre forward that's going to give so much pressure to my defense line. So
repeat the score line.
2-1 to Arsenal. Write it down. Book it.
Wasn't that the same result prediction I gave for Chelsea against
Chelsea.
Arsenal as well?
Yeah, but I never expect.
Okay.
I mean,
Say no more.
That was my heart. This is my head speaking now.
Yeah, just a question. Have you ever picked Arsenal to lose a game? I just want to know.
You ever pick Liverpool to lose a game?
Yeah, lots of times. But go on if you ever pick Arsenal.
Listen, let me say it this way. I would not be surprised if Arsenal lost by 3-0.
Which
is the regular score line from City.
Next time you start on that note, since that's the more popular one and the more favorable one.
So Chris Lynch, you are also saying that Arsenal gonna lose?
You look good. You look decent. Against Chelsea in the first. The 2 goals that were scored, it's basically Lukaku magic to me. Basically, he basically created those 2 goals. Or he bullied your defense. He basically had his way. But I don't know if your Aubameyang will come back and give you goals. That's where you look like. I don't like teams that don't look like they create chances. And I don't think you do that. So I don't see you're winning a game against a team that can create chances that in a second they can just create a chance. So I can't see you winning against them. But miracles happen every weekend. Probably one of the big 15 teams in Europe lose a game. You're probably right that you're gonna beat one of the big 15 in Europe.
All right, let's see. Arteta to get one on Pep. I'm not going to go through all the games because we have 2 Liverpool fans here. So Liverpool goes up against, I guess it at Anfield, and that is a Saturday game, 11:30. So we're going to just go through that one. Liverpool versus Chelsea. Kems, let me start with you, and then I'll go to Levon before I go to the Liverpool fans.
So I actually have Liverpool winning this game. 2-1. I see a lot of persons jumping up on the Lukaku train. Lukaku is new and improved, and Lukaku is back. And and I even watched a little commentary with Jamie Carragher, and he also said that Van Dijk are one defender where Lukaku can bully like him, take Arsenal defender and just throw him one side. So it's going to be an interesting battle there. But obviously we only have a small sample size. But Salah look like him really come to play this season. Him really, really impressive. I think he will be the major threat to Chelsea around there. If them start the left back when they Alonso, if them start Alonso are trouble. A barbecue chicken around there. So him can take free kick and that, but as a defender, I don't rate him highly as a defender. So I think Liverpool will actually boss this game. And then I think the critics will ease off of Liverpool and start up on Chelsea and say Chelsea can't win the league again. But I just think overall, I think Liverpool right now, just 2 games in, I like them to get the better at Chelsea right now.
Oh, you like them to get the better at Chelsea?
Yes, 2-1, they'll win.
Oh, they will win 2-1. All right. Levon.
All right. What Kim's just mentioned, I don't really like Marcos Alonso as a defender. I think he's good going forward, but in terms of defending, that man can't defend to save his life. So there's a likely possibility that come tomorrow, Saturday, we might see Ben Chilwell getting his first start of the season. Knowing how Tuchel tend to play these 2 left-sided the wing backs, so we might see Ben Chilwell for that game. But as for me, I just think this game will end in a draw, 1-1. That's how I see it. Salah started off the season decent, better than the rest of seasons to me, especially last season. He has looked more sharper this season. However, I think Chelsea has looked the best out of every team so far. And with that being said, I just see them scoring a goal on Liverpool because, Liverpool has looked decent here. But again, this is something that Dean and I had discussed about, that we said that Van Dijk, we know that he has class, but Van Dijk currently is tentative going into challenges. And Lukaku will pose that threat to him because you know that Lukaku is robust. So on that basis, I think he'll pose some threat to him and they might nick a goal right there. So I see this game finishing 1-1.
All right. Chris Lynch.
Yeah, the Lukaku threat is real, and everyone should know that Liverpool is one of his favorite opponents. So it is real that he likes to play against Liverpool. I don't know if it was like he liked to play against big teams basically because he tend to score. But I think Liverpool have enough to win this one. Van Dijk should be able to manage him, should be able to gain confidence. If Lukaku, this is a good thing for Van Dijk early in the season to play against the strength of Lukaku to get back the confidence he probably needs to see that he's still strong and robust and ready. So I think this is good for Van Dijk from that perspective. But we continue creating chances, nonetheless, that you think that we need someone up there. We continue creating chances, and that's the most important thing. You need to create chances to score a goal, and we seem to have that in Jota. Very intelligent off-the-ball movement from him, and he just seems like he always have a goal whenever the ball is going towards him. Whenever the ball looks like it's going towards Jota, there's always seems like there's going to be a goal. And good to see Mane on the score sheet weekend. I think Liverpool can sneak out a 1-0 victory because Chelsea is a very tough opponent. But and Tuchel, as in his head, that he's playing against a very good coach that has beat him the most of any coach in the world.
Oh, sorry, Demo. Go ahead, Demo.
Yeah, big up Cataract. Just join the stream. Big up yourself, boy. So for me, this result all winds down to team selection. Oh, what a catch! Sorry, this result all winds down to team selection. For me,
man watching CPL.
for me, it's like Klopp tend to make decisions sometimes where hurt my head. And I just know that because Roberts is fit, he might look to start him. And I really don't want you to just throw Roberts into this Chelsea, such a big game. In first game back into the Premier League. Tsimikas has been awesome. He's gotten a man of the match award already at left back. And with Reece James, I think even though Roberts is a better defender, he had all that space against Arsenal. I don't think he'll get that against Liverpool. And for us, Chelsea playing a back three, like Ken's always say, barbecue chicken or front three will decimate that back three. Like Salah started so well, Mane, even though he hasn't been, in the best goal scoring form, it looks like he's beating his players again and dribbling past people. And I'm hoping that Jota will start because, like I said on the Sports Frenzy, Jota is the one who will give us the goals, but Firmino is the one that make everything knit together. You know what I mean? And I would rather us get the goal against Chelsea than have us play well, knitting things together and stringing everything, and then Firmino come on at the second half. So I'm expecting us to win that game 3-1. I'm expecting Matip to be the standout defender again as he's been for the past 2 games. Obviously, Van Dijk spraying those passes, the diagonals that's killing the both teams that we played so far. It's like he didn't miss a beat when he's passing the ball because I think he played the pass for the second goal that we got last week. So I'm expecting Liverpool to win this game very convincingly, actually. I'm going 3-1 for Liverpool because the Anfield crowd is back and we're just going to be playing for Anfield. High intensity. And I really hope Salah is the one who get those 2 goals because 100 Premier League goals knocking. And boy, that's going to be some achievement for Salah to get 100 so far. So I'm going 3-1. Chelsea will cause some problems, but I expect us to win at Anfield comfortably. Oh, and this, by the way, remember, I am the one who says Chelsea is going to win the league. So them just run up in at the wrong side this weekend, and they're going to lose this one.
All right. Thank you, Dima. Well, what can I say? I hear all of this, but what I've seen I think Liverpool will score minimum 2 goals. I think that Liverpool will score 2 goals. I don't know. I like Jota. I didn't see this in him when he was at Wolves, but he has a way of being in the right place at the right time. He was very good at Wolves, but at Liverpool, he has become just a finisher more so than an all-round player. He just turns up in those little areas where he scores some what he'd call simple goal. You can't point out like, whoa, man, look how he created that. But he ends up always being in the right place. And I see that happening with especially on the side that Reece James plays. I realize that one of the liabilities in Chelsea's defense is not just Alonso, but Reece James always allow players on his inside. And I think that is why he doesn't start so often for England. He always allows attackers to be on the inside when he's coming back in the back 3 that they play.
Yeah, he's playing wing back, remember, say that he's
right
back, you know.
Right. So that is the difficulty with him. And so I could see Jota using that space to score. The thing is, Chelsea's playing so well, I think they are also going to score. So if I were to choose a result, I'd think like this is going to be a 2-2 game. I don't think Van Dijk is fit enough right now or at his best to like match up with Lukaku. And that is where I'm concerned because I don't think he would be Matip's assignment. I think it would be Van Dijk. And I could see Van Dijk, not because he's not a great defender, but he's just not at the place yet in terms of fully recovering. So I could see the Anfield crowd helping to get Liverpool back to 2-2 and the game end. So I see this as a draw because I see these 2 teams finishing first and second in the league. I know the Manchester United fans are probably planning on, throwing some big rocks at me, but I think this is first and second in the league this season. Catara, you have any thoughts? Because I know you're just a Leeds man, you only talk about Leeds. Anything about Liverpool versus Chelsea?
I don't know them side, brother.
All right. So
I don't have time to slow them. When I have time to slow them, we will know how them. No, but the man talk about that side, man.
All right then. Before we get to the Manchester versus Wolves game, we're just picking some of the games, and then I have a big question to ask when we go through these games. The next thing I want to look at is Burnley versus Leeds, and that is because we have Cataract here. They have not won a game. What do you think about this Burnley versus Leeds game, Cataract? Let me start with you.
Them.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that.
Nothing else to be said.
You're doing a dub plate, are you really? I mean,
them dead. There's nothing else to be said. Going to be some. I understand that there's going to be some frantic last minute moves in the transfer window for Leeds. Contrary to what Bielsa said, that we are finished.
Yeah.
Looking to bring in a winger. Check my fax machine for Ellen Road. A youth named Nora. And we also linked to a swoop for Divock Origi from Liverpool, but not sure why.
You have a Liverpool fan.
It's not a swap deal for Rafinha.
That was just there.
It's not a swap deal for Rafinha. And the touching on this, you can't run in power big player them. Heard Manchester City was sniffing around Patrick Bamford, but after the Kane thing falls through, It's been rumored that they have been making inquiries. I guess that means talking to the player's agent.
For Bramford is that good to fit in City side?
I don't know, City.
Man,
I don't.
what you mean if him that good for 15?
Bramford.
He gonna get the ball on the plate, brother.
Okay. All right.
A reliable finisher.
But
Also, I understand that with Daniel Jameson, who I have brought to the attention, young Jamaican striker, born in Canada to Jamaican parents. Leeds have now been heavily linked to him as we look to take some of the weight off of Patrick Bamford's shoulder.
But Cataract, it seems like his Leeds and around Canada clubs because even Darkman hovering around.
Yeah. No, I don't know why Jamaica's not hovering around. But,
Probably not looking at it because he's just 18.
would be sad, wouldn't it? Youth has shown Youth is a Premier League level footballer. He has a goal and he has a couple of minutes under his belt and looked good in a relegation side. So I wouldn't know why that about Jamaica too tough here. But yeah, so those are the optics for Leeds because I was a little worried, although in Bielsa we trust and anything him said so that's a law. But Burnley, expect a high shootout game. I see on Sky Sport the prediction Sky Bet they predicted 3-2 in favor of Burnley.
somebody said 4-2 in favor of Leeds. Why Cataract? Let me hear your prediction.
I think a 2-all draw. Burnley's a dangerous side.
So how you saying them that they ain't going dead and then you say 2-all draw? I don't understand what you mean.
But they need victory. They need points. Remember, said they are hovering at the bottom of the thing.
No, man, what I'm saying, you started out by saying
them dead.
Them
coming for 3 points, but they cannot get it.
Oh,
they are coming for 3 points. They can't get it. But I think 2-2. And then listen, Burnley. You see, Burnley is a funny side. Burnley have some very good defenders, but they still seem to let in goals in the last season inexplicably. You understand? Ben Mee, Shokoski, and a couple other lads there. Very strong defensive team, right? Them depend on Chris Wood up front. Another Jamaican is the star in Dwight McNeil. He is the attacking.
Isn't he moving to Aston Villa?
Don't know. Actually, I don't know other club business. I don't know other club business, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Aston Villa has been linked to a host of Jamaicans. Todd Cantwell at Norwich, they just seem to like Yardman now. Ward Prowse, who probably could have played for Jamaica, but we don't follow up these.
So you're saying that you said 2-all Leeds Burnley?
I think 2-all. I know goals going to score. When these are playing, goals are going to be scored. And I don't see a sort of stalemate. Like we gave Everton a lot of respect last time out.
All right.
But I see an open game. Chris Wood is dangerous, Chris Wood is a dangerous striker. In the lower leagues. I know some of you man just think about the top tier thing, but me have to watch them lower league team there, So Chris Wood is from championship days, Chris Wood is a dangerous striker. Big, physical, a handful for any defender. At least defenders them kind of like catch and Liam Moore are not powerful defenders. They're more like silky, right? And so they will have problems with a striker that's sort of like a handful striker like Chris Wood or Ben Teke, them kind of striker there. Yeah, but they love it playing against like Aubameyang and them people because they will eat their food all day. But those big, burly, bustling striker, they will find problems with them. So
right.
I think Dwight McNeil it will start the show for them, but I think Bamford will be on the score sheet, open his account. Sorry, I apologize. I need to speak properly. This is a formal show. Patrick Bamford, English international. So I have to put some respect on the man name fully. You understand? It's formal title.
All right, sir.
Congratulations, Patrick Bamford, well deserved. Calvin Phillips back, so there could be some steal. And I understand that we're looking at a Chilean, but he seems to want to go to La Liga from Italy to add the defensive midfield, or Lewis O'Brien from Huddersfield Town, but I don't know how he'll translate into the Premiership. But we are looking to add some steel in the midfield in case Calvin Phillips goes down again. That position is a position where people get injured a lot. Defensive midfielders around the league pick up injuries just because of the combative nature of things. So,
All right. All right. Yeah, man. All right. Levon, quickly tell me what you think. Leeds versus Wolves. Any prediction on that? And then we move. Leeds versus Burnley. I mean, any what would you predict?
Burnley topsy-turvy, and I don't like them personally, even though I wanted to stay in the league. But I think this is a draw game.
Yeah. Draw game. All right. All right. So let's move on to the team that won the league after the first week and gave up the title against Southampton. The Devils versus the Wolves. Levon, you and Kems get to go first to speak about the 1 week champions. Yes, they were 1 week champions. You know?
Who crowned them? You?
Listen, I had some Manchester United fans. I saw that after that first game against Leeds, that they won the league. Or they were behaving. And then I hear the people all of a sudden the second week saying, Ole out, Ole out. So I have nothing.
I thought you were the one that actually crowned Manchester United, because personally for me I didn't.
Well, that is true. Go ahead, Levon.
Is man like him that said that Ole trick him. Ole can't trick me. But honestly, they can't do any worse than they did against Southampton. As I said before, Southampton performance was lackluster, lackadaisical, and all those adjectives that I can find to describe it. One of our midfielders gone down in Scott McTominay, had to do a groin surgery. I hope this kind of propelled them to actually go out and sign a defensive midfielder. But I don't feel optimistic about that, because we might very well see Nemanja Matic again, in which, as I said before, I don't like that man, none at all. It sick me to the core when I see that man in my side. So I don't want to see Nemanja Matic, I don't want to see Fred. Both of them can leave the club instantly. But in terms of playing against a Wolves team, this Wolves, since they have been back in the Premier League, they have always given United trouble. They've always been on a team to cause us some trouble. But with that being said, I believe good sense will prevail for Ole, and he'll actually give Rafael Varane and Jadon Sancho the opportunity to actually start this game, because, yeah, as I said, Wolves have played decent so far. They have just been unlucky when it comes down to results, and they are getting back players, including Daniel Pudence. He's now back in the fold. He scored midweek, and that only can propel confidence into them. However, I still think United has enough quality to get the better of them, and I'm seeing probably a 3-1 victory.
Kems?
Boy, as I tell you, say Ole tricked me, right? And in relation to about Scott McTominay, I saw a report that said that Ole is thinking of putting DVB in the pivot, him and Fred, right? So that is a report I saw, So I really don't know what that man up to. I can't tell you with confidence that yes, United is going to win, because I don't know what kind of side is going to be out there, right? We watch Wolves play 2 games, and we can say Wolves was unlucky in both. Had Traore have on him shooting boots, Wolves could have probably done 6 points right now. But for some reason, these teams always find some form against Manchester United. I don't know what happened, and I can bet you Traore will score at Manchester United. No doubt he's going to score, right? So, but I think, I think from the Southampton draw, because it really feel like a defeat. I think the boys will rally, as Levon said, hopefully common sense prevails, and, we have Ian, because again, we can't have Lindelof around there with Traore running at you. You can't hold on for him because him oil up him body. right? So as a result of that, I need Varane around there.
Why?
I need Varane around there. I need Sancho to start. I need Pogba to play like how he played in the first game. I need Bruno to step it up. I do not want to see Marshall on the field, not even on the bench, right? I need Greenwood up top striking, you know. Dan James, no, not you either, right? So I just need a good performance. I need Big Skip, Captain Maguire. He have to clean up himself because Southampton game very, very sloppy. Never looked like an $85 million footballer at all. He looked like a Ben White.
But Kims, stick up in though, Kims. I see a lot of United fans saying that Lindelof is the one that caused Maguire to play like that. Reason being, Lindelof tend to hold on to the ball long and then pass it to Maguire when he's placed under pressure. So he has to quickly try to make a decision, and by doing so, end up looking crappy. Yeah, because if you look at it, Lindelof tend to dribble right down into its players a lot of time. Yeah. So a lot of people are saying Lindelof partnership with Maguire is what causes a lot of time.
Yeah, but I can't let Maguire off of the Southampton game. No matter what Lindelof do, the man was horrible. The man was terrible. The man looked like him not even know the basics of football. Just a pass a ball, 5-yard pass, he might pass it to Southampton. I don't know if he was nervous. I don't know what it was, right? But I think he'll come better, right? And I just think our overall performance, because as I tell you, in the Southampton game, it was only 15 minutes where Manchester United actually play football. The other rest of the time, they were just running up and down, just being on the field, right? So I don't want Marshall anywhere near the side because it just, the IQ, I don't know how him get a French call up, He probably have secret for the coach because he's just not ready. The IQ level, the movement, the understanding of what to do as a striker, he just doesn't have it, right? So I would say I'll give Manchester United an edge, a little 2-1 victory. But that's all I can do.
Kims, I'm glad that you point that out, because even though Manningsman said it's not an international show, but I mean, what the French coach did was a disrespect to French players that are actually performing, because you have a lot of French players, even in the French league, that are performing right now, and I disrespect that by calling up Martial. You simply say anybody at all can get called up.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's that bad. You're the Manchester United fan.
No, Mannings, man.
I don't know. You have to tell me about your player.
No, I know Mannings, man. I know your watch. I know I know, right? But Mannings, man, it's just as a striker, as a man. When we bought Anthony Marshall, we had high expectations for him, man. Levon is somebody that defend that man with no bones. And it's just disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. 1 and 2 times we must score a beauty and trickery. Just like Ole. 1 and 2 times Ole will play some attacking football and trick, right? And then, go back to normal. So,
a team of magicians, man.
We need some stability in the side. We need a level where we can get comfortable with. We can do that level here, the next game, and different level, the next game, a different level. Because, you just won't have the continuity.
But I've heard some Manchester United, and then we're going to get Chris Lynch and Demo. Then I've heard some Manchester United fans say that when McTominay plays, Lindelof plays well. Because McTominay plays better defensively, and so he's closer to Lindelof to collect the balls. He sometimes drop back deep down into that centre-back position. The problem is that when you put Fred and any other person in that midfield area, it exposes the slowness of Maguire and Lindelof. So should the coach really make the adjustment there, and then instead of going to the back two, who really look bad because of the poor holding midfielders?
All right, Manningsman, personally for me, right? Scott McTominay, nice guy, didn't cost us a penny, come through the academy, like him as a person. But this man should just be a squad player. This man should just be a squad player. You should just actually just go out and sign a quality defensive midfielder that can hold on the position. There are a lot of them out there. Ruben Neves, cheap, 35 million pounds. Why you can't buy that man? That man is quality. That man can spray a pass and pick you out from wherever down there. You look over in France and other countries, you see quality DMs. Even in Germany, you have Dennis Zakaria. In England, you have Yves Bissouma. Why can't we sign one of those guys and just call it a day and just have these guys cement their place in the team instead of keep on chop and changing with Fred, McTominay, Matic, and all those? Those men are average, bang on average players. As I said, Scott McTominay, nice guy and all of that, but he's just a squad player at best.
Somebody saying that the coach was the problem. Cataract. You're breaking up, Cataract. Cataract.
You're not hearing it? You're not hearing it?
No, we're not hearing it clearly.
Yeah, that's how I feel about you. But that's like
no man, you have to fix the audio. It's terrible.
Audio.
Yeah. Yeah, something wrong with the internet. So let me just remove Cataract for now. Chris Lynch. No, you're not a Manchester United fan, but how can you help them in this predicament? What is your score prediction and then Demonics?
I can't help them because losing against Southampton, drawing against Southampton only can make it worse going up against Wolves who need a point somewhere. I wouldn't want Liverpool to be playing this Southampton team right now. This Wolverhampton team right now because they played like what Kim said. They played well in 2 games and didn't score. They haven't scored a goal, haven't get a point, and to play them now, it's somewhat tricky because they're really gonna come confident and feel as if they can do something because of the Southampton result. But I really think Manchester United have the quality to get past them. I think Wolves go three loss on the straight and United probably find some way to win this one 2-0.
All right, Demo.
I'm going to go 2-2. and not because Manchester United are a crap team or anything. Like I've always told people.
Hold on. How Manchester United being a crap team coming to this?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not because they're a crap team.
No.
Why I'm saying that?
No, but I don't think that statement is. No, man, you need to fix up the statement. You mean say it's not because they're a crap team?
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying the game is going to end 2-2, and it's not because I think that Manchester United are a poor team or anything. It's because of the manager, right? This is the same man who had Greenwood perform excellently in the first game against Leeds. Him apparently just feel the need to take him off as a striker and play Martial up top for the next game, and him just do some crazy things like that sometimes. And I don't think that he has the quality to take this team to league titles and other form Champions League titles and stuff like that. So I think the manager will actually cost them this game. Wolves has been playing too well to go 3 losses on the trot, and like we said, they were on Tottenham like White and Rice, and it's just faulty finishing. So I think that Wolves will come good in this game and they will actually improve on their finishing, and it's going to be a high 2-2 scoreline. Bruno Fernandes can take this team as far as he can. He'll perform well and get his goal and stuff like that. Somebody else will score, but it will be a high scoring 2-2 draw.
All right, I think this is a 2-1 for Manchester United. Why? I find that Manchester plays better away from home. I don't know why. It's a very strange. They always put in good performances. They're not playing at Old Trafford. So I think that Sancho scores his first goal for the club. The coach makes the adjustment, and then he puts Greenwood down the middle. And Manchester comes out. I don't think it's because they're going to outplay Wolves. But I tell you, the only problem I have with Pogba is that he's an up and down player. One good game, one bad game. He had his bad game last game. This is going to be excellent Pogba again. Though he had an assist, I don't think he was as good. So I think he comes really good this week. And I really believe that Manchester's opportunity is not so much in Bruno Fernandes, but Paul Pogba. If Paul Pogba plays consistent for the season, it changes everything about Manchester United, even if Bruno has a bad game. But watch this. If Bruno plays well and Pogba plays bad, Manchester United struggle. So I think...
Not true.
Yeah?
Not true.
All right. Well, and you tell me, you don't think that Paul Pogba playing well more consistently and an average Bruno is better for Manchester United than an excellent Bruno and an average Pogba?
No, I need both of them to perform. I don't want no one man to perform. Simple as that.
That's the ideal world. I'm not talking about the ideal world. But all right, cool. So those are the games in the EPL we're going to look at. So we're going to look at some more EPL team. We have Royal Liverpool fan as well. So one Liverpool fan leave. The next one rolling. I don't know, man. Liverpool fans have increased over the last season or so. So I don't know. I mean, this man was at UTech in engineering. Never know that this man was a Liverpool fan. Always have Arsenal jersey. When leave UTech and the man go up there, the man turn Liverpool fan. Don't understand. But talk to me. What do you think about your zone in the Champions League? You mute yourself. So you're muted.
Oh yeah, man. You hearing me now?
Yeah, hearing you loud and clear.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, we get the hardest zone. I mean, we Atletico Madrid, AC Milan, Porto. You understand?
What you just said? That is the hardest zone.
Of course, no zone harder than that. Come on, man. I'm most challenging zone that. Every other zone, you can almost count to. You get me? I say I go come out. Look for Manchester United zone. Obviously, Villarreal and Atlanta go make it out. You have a zone with Barcelona and Bayern Munich.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I didn't hear what you said about the Manchester United zone. It's an easy zone or a hard zone?
No, I mean, you know which two teams are going to make it out. Villarreal first, Atalanta second. I mean, you know. Manchester United have got to try again for Europa League this season, obviously. But yeah, back to important matters. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have Porto where, you know, when it comes to Champions League, you know, them kind of unpredictable, to tell you the truth, you know. Sometimes them hit it, sometimes they miss it, but it's not a side where you can count out, you understand? I feel so them are going to come hard, especially when they're at home, you understand me? I say. We know, say, Diego Simeone are like, you know, defensive genius. The last time we played against them, was it last season or the season before? Yeah, well, they did get the better of us.
You got knocked out.
Even at home. Yeah, we're going to get knocked out, man. Yeah, man, that are the game where, I remember correctly, yeah, when we did lose, when the second... Yeah, we did just concede a late goal in the second match, and that did cause because the momentum just swinging at Atletico Madrid the way. So when they go in at extra time, man, trust man, they step on us that time. You understand? So I really that did cause it. You understand me? I said, but me not really fear them still.
So like you do though. You're not sounding very confident.
Man. No, not at all, man. Definitely. As we said, I just reflect back on the last time. I try to remember what went wrong that time. Yeah. So when we went down there, we lost. We had them at home, you know. We just didn't need to keep the scoreline as is. We conceded a late goal, and that just sent it in an extra time. So, yeah, that and as I said, the momentum just swing their way after that. So, yeah, we see that happen a lot, you know. We see that happen a lot in football. So, do you make
it out of your zone?
Yeah, man, definitely, man, definitely. To tell you the truth, you know, I think Atletico still. I'll give it to Atletico. Tell you the truth, you understand. As I said, Porto, you can't really count them out. AC Milan, Me not really see them since season, to tell you the truth. I haven't seen them as yet. You know, last season them did kind of have a little spark going for them. I don't know how them stay this season. I don't see them as yet, so I don't really want to talk on them. But right now, I can say I think between Liverpool and Atletico Madrid. But I want Liverpool come first. Me not go count that as yet, but me definitely know we're making it out of the zone. Definitely, you understand?
All right.
Yeah.
No, man, you go ahead.
Yeah. So I don't get why people are saying this is a hard group and stuff like the hardest group and things like that. For me, this group Liverpool comes out of very comfortable. The Porto team where people supposedly afraid of, like, we slap Porto every time we get them 5-0 and plus every time we play Porto. I mean, they went against, I think last season they played against Juventus and they knocked them out. I think that was probably, you know, the hype. But obviously Liverpool were struggling last season and stuff like that. But this Liverpool team is back to full fitness. Van Dijk back, all of the guys back. This is not Liverpool when we have 25 injuries playing 18 centre backs in the league in one pairing. And you laugh, but it's actually facts. 18 centre back pairings we used last season. 18. Right? So it's nothing like
25 injuries.
No, not the exaggeration.
But you just said that it is facts. That's what you said.
The centre back pairings are the facts, right?
Okay.
So I'm saying Liverpool back to full fitness. AC Milan lost the league. They came second in the league. where they come. They finished second in the league by 12 points last season. So it's not like say they're this high flying team. Them signed Giroud.
Third, they came. It wasn't
third by 12 points, right? And
Mhm.
they finished ahead of fifth place by 2 points, I think it was at the time. So they're not all that special. I don't
and
know.
got
This
mauled by. Didn't they get mauled by Manchester United in Europa
Yeah, so
at home?
they signed Giroud. I saw they beat Sampdoria 1-0 the other day, and so forth. So I don't get the big hype. The only threat in this thing is Atletico Madrid, and for me personally, those are the two teams that's going to go through: Atletico Madrid and Liverpool. So for me, it's not no big hype over the group. It's relatively simply fair. Two teams: Atletico Madrid, Liverpool.
All right. Lavon, I'm going to come to you, but what I can say to you, Royal, I would love to have heard Ken's response to your statement about Manchester United. But let Levan go. Go ahead, Levan. The man said that.
All right. So Mannings man, from this man came on, it sounds very confusing because first he's going to say, "Oh, Porto is going to give us trouble," and then he went on to state about AC Milan and all those things.
Hold on. I don't think you don't hear me clearly.
I heard you fully.
What I say is, you can't count out Porto. You understand me, I say? Based on them last one in the Champions League, me I say, it's not a side where you can just say, oh, walk over this. That's what I said. You understand me, I say? You can't count them out.
So allow Levan.
So let
me point out one thing, too.
So allow Levan to finish.
All right, so this same Porto team, they played in the Champions League last year. Yeah, they knocked out Juventus, yeah? Because of Juventus had a very poor coach in Andrea Pirlo. If they had the same coach that they had this season, they would have knocked out Porto easily. But Pirlo was a novice. That's one. Number two, the same Porto team is going to the season depending on Pepe once again as their main centre back. He is 1 year older. Okay. So on that basis, I say that your assessment was somewhat flawed because you came on, Villarreal and Atalanta is going to make it out that side. United have to go fight back for Europe. Come on, man. Even though I don't rate Ole fully, this man can't do any worse. This when I look at this group, young boys will be the whipping boys because I mean they had a very good coach.
They played in the qualifier, right? They played to qualify.
Yeah. They had a good coach, but he has left for better grounds in terms of he has taken over Bayer Leverkusen, and I've always followed them. I like them as a team, but I mean they're the whipping boys of this group. Atalanta on the other hand, no. Why people become friends by Atalanta? Atalanta plays like Leeds. That's the point. They play attacking football. When it comes on to defending, they've just lost their best centre back in Cristiano Romero. Yeah, they have brought in Mary Demiral and they want him to be that man that Cristiano Romero was, but he's not. And even if you look at the game against Villarreal in the Europa final last year, United had chances to actually win that game just because of that coach being naive. That's the reason why they lost to them, and they have brought in Mr. Champions League in Rafael Varane. They have also brought in quality in the Champions League, was experienced in terms of Jadon Sancho. So, I mean, if you look at it from that basis, if I'm to call two teams that I actually think will progress, I mean, yeah, I like Villarreal because they set up their team to actually defend and also counter-attack teams. But I think United and Atalanta has enough quality to get over both, and United and Atalanta will come through the group.
Really?
Yeah.
You know that I don't see Villarreal not coming through this group. I just don't think.
Stick up in, Manning. Stick up in. You know where Villarreal is going? Right back to Europa League. You know why? Unai Emery owns the Europa League.
No.
So it's going right back down there.
And let me tell you why I say that. You're right about Atalanta. I watch Atalanta because they just emerge and everybody keep talking about them and how they play. So I say, all right, let me take some time and watch this team. Here's the problem I have with Atalanta and Italian teams. Italian teams normally struggles against Manchester United. You check the facts. So I see Atalanta losing to United 2 times. I don't see them beating Villarreal. If any team can come to Old Trafford and get a point in this zone, it is Villarreal. Because Unai Emery also has the experience of going to Manchester with Arsenal and getting points already. And so if they can get points from Manchester United in England, I don't see how Atlanta comes through. So I am going with Manchester United top in the zone because I see Manchester getting the double over young boys, and beating Atalanta 2 times, and probably losing and tying against Villarreal. That's the only team I think could possibly challenge them. But I don't think Liverpool. You think Liverpool have the hardest zone?
No.
What about the Barcelona zone? Because they have a young team and there's no Messi. Isn't that zone a tough zone as well? But go ahead, Lavan.
It's a tough group, but in terms of the Liverpool group, as Dimo alluded to, I said that Porto quality from last season to this season they're falling off somewhat in a sense. Also, they just had you could say they had a good run in the Champions League last year, and that was it. When you look at AC Milan, they have lost one of their key pieces in terms of creativity in Akan Kalhanoglu has no switch over to Inter Milan. So on that basis alone, you know that already they have lost some quality pieces.
Rumor too.
And they have lost their goalkeeper. But I mean,
Chiesa are supposed to be leaving as well.
Chiesa is Juventus, man. Come on.
Huh?
Remember
the black guy with his hair plait up, Kessie.
Oh, Kessie, yeah. Kessie is staying, man.
Okay, all right.
He's staying, man. So if you look at it from that standpoint, yeah, they still have quality players, but they're falling off because if you have to rely on a man like Brahim Diaz to actually create opportunities for you, that means that your team is down, man. But in terms of the Barcelona Bayern group, I think that is a decent group, yeah. But I'm more looking forward to
PSG.
Yeah, man, PSG, Man City. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Really want to see the matchup between both teams because they know that these are the two teams that a lot of people as going into this season as the favorites.
But wouldn't that depend on what happens with Mbappe, and if Mbappe end up leaving and if Ronaldo, I mean, wouldn't that change up the dynamics of that group if Mbappe were to leave PSG?
Somewhat, but then you'd probably think that PSG will go out and get another quality piece, and they're still in the market for one Camavinga and also Pogba. The possibility still exists that they might sign one of the two.
I don't think Manchester United selling Pogba.
That's what you think.
Manchester United sell Pogba.
That's what you think. You don't know this club.
I don't think they're gonna sell him again.
Mannings, man. 1 year remain, not even 1 year. Next season is a free agent. Why wouldn't they take whatever they're getting? PSG is willing to offer 50 million. Why would they take that?
And replace him with who?
Saul is on the market. He's not a direct replacement, but go and get Saul.
Wait, Saul to Chelsea is not a done deal?
No.
Okay. So, Rolly, what do you say in response to what Lavan just said? You're muted.
Yeah. As I say, but I listen to what I'm saying still. I don't know if we have the same perception and we say a tough zone is. You understand? Because me hear me call some zones and I call some teams, and every zone me hear call only 2 teams. When face just the 2 teams that battle it out. Hey, my brethren, remember 4 teams in our zone, we are talking about the competition between the 4 teams and not only the 2 teams. You understand what I say? Another point where what Mafa makes still, you talk about AC Milan and losing key players and thing, you know. And I mean, as me say, I haven't seen them yet, you know, so I'm not really in a good stead for talk about them performance and how I think them are going to perform. But really and truly, we know it's a football 11 man go up on the field and really 1 or 2 man. Me understand sometimes teams lose key players, you know, but a lot of times you see players step up in the position and the team perform very well as well too. So as me say, I really want to watch them before I can give a fair analysis on what I think them are going to come with this season. Porto as well, I haven't seen them as yet. I just want to talk based on what I say last season, really. I understand me I say. And me I say, as me say, is not a team to count out. We say, yo, them are going to be an easy walk in the park. And if you understand the Champions League thing at the best of Europe, make it there, well, to some extent, you understand me I say. So, no side not really make it the way I say.
I was just about to point out that there's a team from Moldova named Sheriff Tiraspol who is in the Champions League. So
yeah, you know, I haven't even checked them out as yet. I don't even know where they come from, you know.
They're no good.
When I started today, I didn't even know where they came from.
But to the group that you actually mentioned, man, the reason why I said City group, remember that Leipzig is also in that group, you know. So if you put Leipzig in the mix, would you actually think that AC Milan and Porto is actually better than RB Leipzig?
I think the City group is the toughest group.
Done.
Because I could see Leipzig going through. Didn't Leipzig beat PSG last season?
They beat them.
I believe it was season before.
Or the season before in Paris, they beat them. You
Yeah,
understand me? So
I believe it was then. Because I remember United actually beat up on Leipzig, and then Leipzig kicked
right.
down there. Leipzig actually beat us. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So that is a team that is not as easy as many people really think. I think people don't rate. I think because of how they play, they don't get a lot of ratings, but they have a way of getting players from that RB
Salzburg.
Salzburg, right? And so that's a team to look out for. But go ahead, Roll. Let me hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Where made the cut off? I forgot. What was the
No,
point?
I'm just we're just saying that the City, PSG, RB Leipzig, that zone to me.
Yeah, that zone looks tough as well too. You understand me, I say? But I still go what I say. I think the competition is more in the Liverpool zone because you have 4 teams where have an equal chance based on what we know from last year. You understand? As I said, the dynamics of some teams change over the transfer window. So I guess we just have to wait and see. You understand me?
So you're just speculating.
Me I speculate on what I know. You see, as we say, I haven't seen some of the teams this season, so I can't give a fair judgment of what they're like, you understand? Right. And that's just the reality, you know? I haven't seen Porto this season, I haven't seen AC Milan this season.
All right, final question before we close the show, because I know Levon have to jump over. Sports Frenzy tonight, 8 o'clock, they're discussing the Diamond League. So
some CPL.
And some CPL, yes. I mean, TNT Knight Riders lost today to the what a game, yeah, man. So they're going to discuss that. So let me run over. And any more moves for Liverpool before the window close, or they have done? I mean, a few more days left. Demo, are is business done for Liverpool? And same question about Manchester United.
All right. So for me, we might see outgoings. I'm very doubtful of incomings. I think the player that we were really linked with was Saul. I don't see that happening again because I thought the Saul deal to Chelsea was pretty much done and wrapped up in terms of a loan deal with no option to buy, but Levon says it's not. So I think Saul was one of the main key components. We saw Shaqiri the other day. I think we're looking to offload Origi as well. And other fringe players as left. I mean, players that you probably wouldn't know about from
Chamberlain. You're not selling Chamberlain.
No, definitely not. And so what Klopp is doing this season is saying that all the guys that have come back from injury, they shall play a big part this season. The Navigators, the Oxlade Chamberlains, Minamino came back from loan, and we have a lot of players. And so to you guys, it might seem like it's not a deep squad in terms of buying wise, and we're not buy like Chelsea and get all of these players. But like I said, probably the first time I was on the show, what they have done is tied down long-term contracts for the spine of the team and the core players. And so they signed up Robertson last week, I think it was, and along with all the other major guys. So we're looking to tie down deals, and for me, that's very important. I think where we lacked depth was the defensive stability, and that's because we had a lot of injuries in that days, and we went out and we got Konate, and then at left back was an area that we needed help as well, because Robertson seemed like he might play every single game, and seeing Tsimikas come out now and recovered from COVID and injuries and all of that, and he's playing now. I think we have a solid backup. My only issue is our right back option, but it doesn't seem like suitors are coming in for Nico Williams right now. I don't think he's gonna leave anymore, so we should use Nico Williams and Joe Gomez as a backup right back definitive. So outgoings but no incomings, so that's it.
All right. Roy, you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with most sides, especially the part where say, last season why we got exposed most of the time was due to the injuries, you understand? So the unavailability of some players, we have to revert to some plan sometime where, it kind of show you up. I mean, at one point, complacency, it seemed like I'd caught up on us as well, too. But with all the players being fit this season, may not say much area. I mean, we have 1 and 2 area probably, as you say, the right back. But as he said, you have thing that you have my boy the contract there too, as well. So
we don't know who named my boy. That's a new player signing.
No man, Milner, man. Milner, man. All around the Milner, man.
But thinking about even Fabinho can play there too.
Yeah, Fabinho play there. And I mean, I've seen even
Henderson.
And I've seen Henderson drop back and play around there as well.
Yeah. So I mean, we're good overall, you know.
Remember that Fabio played right back for Monaco.
Monaco, yeah. You're right. I just remember for Monaco, yes. You see me? Yeah, and then up top, me just need me and man up top. Jota, me like how him. I mean, me always have high expectations of Jota, for tell you the truth. From Wolves, me they love him at Wolves, for tell you the truth. Me they glad when we get him in. You understand me? I say they kind of sorry for Origi, because I kind of have a soft spot for him, and I want to little ball and rate still, but. Boy, you see, if we have Jota up there,
only Liverpool's
only
Liverpool fans to understand that, boss. Everybody
man, have a soft spot for Origi, man. Boy, rough on him still, but I just the ball world, you understand, man.
You know who Origi reminds me of? An Arsenal player called Nicholas Bentner.
Stop it.
No, what disrespect? No, don't do that.
Stop it. And you need we're not going to get to the Origi thing, but you need to have when you're going to have a separate show for Origi, you need to dip on it, because ask for how people rate Origi and things like that. Boss, Origi was on top of the world for Liverpool. Remember, he was a part of the Belgium squad until that Funo Mowbray tackle broke the man's foot. Because he was having a spanking season for Liverpool, Europe, and all these things. The man come broke him foot, and obviously he fell down the pecking order. And every time he play for club, whenever the man do well, him knows say guess what, he might get dropped the next game, because Mane, Salah, Firmino go play. Mane, Salah, Firmino.
Yeah, man.
Every time. Like, no matter how bad Firmino be,
so
you will not have. Wait, no, remember, just finish. You will not have Origi come in and play, right? And when he do get a chance to play, Klopp throw him on the wing, right wing or on the left wing, and he's very ineffective here. Whenever Origi plays down the middle, when he play Everton, all of them time when he play good, he play down the middle. But obviously, you're not going to get in front of the front three. So Origi has just been very unlucky, and it's hard for whenever you play with that pressure when you get the 1 start or the 2 start. It's hard for you to play well, knowing say, you have to score, because you know so the next game you might have to get dropped because they're not coming. So for me, he has been very unlucky, very, very unlucky.
All right, Levon, I'm coming to you now, but all I will say is that Jota has come. And how come Jota is not unlucky? That's all I will say. Jota has come, and somehow Klopp has trusted Jota, a new player, more than you trust this player you have a soft spot for, who has been so good for Liverpool on top of the world.
All I will say is don't compare, man. When Bentner can score in the Champions League final, then you talk to me.
All right, go ahead, Levon.
All right, so in terms of Manchester United, the coach said that he is satisfied with the business that they have done. When it comes down to this club, I support them, but I don't trust them. None at all. So I don't know what they're going to come with. I'm just watching certain situations. For instance, Atletico is in the market for the Lille right back. His name is Zeki Chilek. They're slated to sign him, so I don't know if it will be a tussle between United and Arsenal for the signature of Kieran Trippier, knowing that Borussia Dortmund has sent in a loan offer for Diego Dalot. So on that basis, I don't know really what they're expecting in terms of central midfield. As I always said, I think we need a defensive midfielder. I don't know if they're going to sign one. I heard that they are having interest in Saul Niguez, but Chelsea seems to be the likely destination as it stands. But in terms of outgoings, I saw reports that West Ham are going for Nikola Vlasic from CSKA Moscow, so that kind of scupper Jesse Lingard going to West Ham. But we may never know in this final days. Only time will tell. But I hope that West Ham comes back for Lingard, because I don't want Lingard in my side personally.
What?
Time film cut. Yeah. If Arsenal want to come cross and offer we at 25 million, we'll take it, you know.
No, we have our business sorted out. We know who we want, not Lingard. But I thought like you guys wanted Lingard to come back based on how he performed.
Listen to me, Mannings. Lingard
isn't he a better option than Martial?
Listen, no matter if Lingard scored 25 goals for West Ham in the Premier League, sell him.
Who do you prefer, Lingard or Martial?
Neither. Sell Martial too. I think Monaco need to refund us.
Okay. So, but I did see a later report that you may go back in the window. I don't know if because of the outgoings, but I did see a report. I feel like you guys have all of these players, and maybe we'll see them in the Champions League. Like Telles is not playing.
Telles will soon be back, man. Because
I hear people complaining about one Aaron one Basaka. Like, I mean,
that's why I said that. I don't know if it's you guys or it's us that will be going in for the signature of Kieran Trippier.
All right. So you don't rate him?
Oh, Trippier?
AWB.
Yeah, I like him as a defensive right back, but in terms of his attacking input, no.
But you have all of that on the left side. Why do you need it with Shaw? Why do you need it on
Come
both
on,
sides?
Manning. Say you tell me say I should just channel all my attacks down one particular side. No. That don't make no sense, Manning. Teams will figure you out and stop you down that side. So what you do now?
I think you guys are trying to buy Preep in the wrong places. I think in midfield.
No, but listen now. I said it to you that what I want personally is a defensive midfielder.
A defensive midfielder.
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't business about the right back position. He can stay over there for the time being. But in terms of what we need right now is a defensive midfielder.
And that would be Ruben Neves.
Ruben Neves, Yves Bissouma, anyone out of the two.
Okay. All right, I think so too. I don't know. There are certain players like Fred in Manchester United is like Granit Xhaka at Arsenal. We don't see what they bring, but the coaches think they're very important.
Xhaka
everybody always about Fred case. Maybe a Man U I problem. No, everybody always sees Fred I problem. Maybe a Manchester United I
Fred no good, brother. But Mannings, one
bro,
thing
about Fred for Brazil.
Still no good. When Fred come up against good opposition for Brazil, you see the same thing in go lost. Argentina prove it. But Mannings, I think what your team need to sign is some divine intervention. You know, that's what you need to sign.
You know why you're talking like that? Because Josh Call not around, you know. 100%. Because if Josh Call was there, he would not allow you to say such madness.
Josh Call is around, and Josh Call actually agrees that Arsenal needs a divine intervention.
No, man. No, listen. Well, listen. The game is going to be played Saturday morning early, you know. So we will talk. I think this turnaround begins. I will say this. My club, we need to sell. Part of the issue that the English clubs in particular are having. This is not just Arsenal, but I realize with the exception of Chelsea, a lot of these clubs are stuck with so many players that they can't seem to get rid of.
Wages.
Exactly, because English clubs seem to pay higher wages than most of the other clubs across the world. So you have 6 players at Manchester United that they can't sell because nobody can match their wages. Same thing at Arsenal. Same thing at Liverpool. I don't know how Chelsea is able to do it if they pay high transfer price.
No, man, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman Maria gets it done because remember that Inter wanted over $117 million for Lukaku, you know. That deal came down to 97. Leicester wanted $80 million for Ben Chilwell. Chelsea only paid 50. So when it comes down to those things, and look at Tammy Abraham. How was she able to get $40 million for Tammy Abraham?
I'm telling you, to go to Rome, that's what I'm saying. Like Chelsea, you know that Chelsea has made back most of the money that they spent on Lukaku already.
Chelsea hasn't spent anything on Lukaku.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Why is it that happens? And it's like Manchester United, who finished higher up the table than Chelsea last season, can't sell anybody. Who has Manchester United sold this year?
Nobody.
Is that, and that same thing with Arsenal? Is it the quality of your squad, or just
wages,
or is just the wages?
Wages too high, man. Because I heard that Tottenham wanted Martial in, but Tottenham were put off by his wages. Because that man is earning what, 250 million.
No, man, he's not earning so much money. 200 and who?
250,000 per week.
Martial.
I'm telling you.
Getting better pay than Lacazette.
But Lacazette no good either.
Well, he's better than Martial. I'm telling you that. I don't understand how they.
That's probably what the third highest in my team. I mean, Van Dijk, Salah, and them, man. Not even them man get so much.
Really?
Yeah, we don't pay big wages at Liverpool, boss. I think 280 are probably the highest. Close to that.
And that's probably, and I think that is part of the reason why you don't see a lot of transfers. So I wonder how much Jadon Sancho, because if I'm coming to Manchester and you are paying Martial 250, you understand me? My salary.
No, I believe Sancho is earning what? I believe it was $225 the last time I saw it. The man that I'm most upset by is David De Gea, and that's the reason I couldn't get rid of him either, because that man is on change than 50,000 per week.
You didn't know them things that Demo.
Not at all, boy.
United has the biggest wage bill by far.
And remember the hair was back up then, so you know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to have a back up. So how much Paul Pogba get?
I believe it's what, 280.
So they get more than
Paul
Pogba.
The thing is that, but Pogba don't deserve it either. That man don't do nothing deserve the contract there. And the thing is that why he hasn't signed a new contract is because they are sticking out for 450. So United not willing to offer him the 450. So that's a sticking point.
Oh, okay. Well, I hear Hurricane wanting 400 from Tottenham. So I don't know that is good.
Yeah, man, Tottenham will pay that man even $1 million. That man deserve it.
Nice. Oh well, brethren, I want to thank you for your time. Listen, people. Let me just I don't know that Demo has Demo. You don't have your channel.
No. Demo is an analyst that floats around the shows, man. Demo just gives his expertise on the
but
shows.
Listen, but he's a cricket person. I know him watching the season.
No, man, Demo is an all-rounder. Not just a cricket. All-rounder, this man.
There you go.
Demo is a guru when it comes down to cricket.
Yo.
The rural. Yeah, we have Demo the rural when it comes down. But listen, big up the Sports Frenzy young. Chris Lynch was on earlier. Kems, the track and field rural was also on. So check them out, people. Listen, I was on their YouTube channel. These guys do very good content, and I like to do this, right? Listen, up the subscription. They were over on Facebook for a long time, and now they're over on YouTube. Go over there, and I tell you, guess what? Just subscribe. Just subscribe.
Not even taking a 30 seconds.
Go and subscribe. Support the work. When I tell you that they're doing great content, you understand me? Go and check them out. Stickman, them man no really have no channel. Them only turn off your light and turn on the light across Jamaica.
No, tell you why them that.
So anytime you see light God across Jamaica, this is the man. Big up.
Stickman.
Yeah.
So Stickman, ensure that you subscribe to the Sports Frenzy show, you know. The same name that is spelled right there. Yeah, man.
Oh, yes, the Sports Frenzy. All right, yeah, man.
2Z and 2Y.
Right now.
So it's 2Z and 2Y.
Yeah, man, I look for it right now on my other phone, you know?
This man never believed that Liverpool can lose a game, so you understand me? He's crazy Liverpool.
But it sound like you, Mannings, man, that believe Arsenal can lose either.
Of course. And big up Josh Call, big up Ketarak, who was on earlier. Like I said, Chris Lynch, who was also on. Thanks again for joining. Listen, enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe. A lot of weather out there. Again, go over to Sports Frenzy. They start in a few minutes and check out the show, right? And just tell them that you hear about them on the I'm Sure Sports Works. And big up Ilian, second place, only make the race get sweeter. You understand? They're going to talk about that this evening, so check them out. Again,
before you run, Mannings, man, guys, just remember, continue to support I Am Sure Sports and all of the YouTube channel. Like, I know Mannings, man, doing thing and stuff, but it take a lot of work to do this. And I am sure, like, this is probably a third stream for the day.
Yeah.
The man very dedicated to him things. So subscribe and smash the likes with the man team, man. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man. All right.
Blessings, Mannings, man, as always, man. It's a pleasure being here, man. And as Demo said, we love the work that you put into the show, man. So just keep on doing what you do, man, and just hope that the subscription keeps on growing and more. And yeah, man, just pick up the I'm Sure Sports family.
I am sure that Arsenal will defeat City by 2-1.
All right, boss.
Hey, well on, man. Hey, watch on, man. I know hope and pray this now. I'm off to do that thing there now.
All right, big up.
All right, yeah, man. All right, let's go. Cool.